The rain had just begun to fall over the sleepy streets of Edinburgh, the droplets tapping gently against the cafe window like a quiet song only the lonely could hear, inside the small, dimly lit place tucked at the corner of Rose Lane. Emma sat by herself, fingers wrapped around a warm cup of chamomile tea. Her eyes drifted outside, watching the blur of umbrellas passing by, each person with a destination, a purpose, something she hadn't felt in a long time. It had been nearly 2 years since she left New York, chasing silence after a heartbreak that left her breathless. She hadn't written music since. Not a verse. Not a note. The piano in her apartment stood like a ghost of the woman she used to be. And yet, something felt different that morning. The old wooden door creaked open, letting in a rush of cold air and the scent of rain. Emma looked up, and her breath caught for just a second. There, shaking the water from his coat, was a man with the kind of presence that made everything else in the room blur. Not because he was striking, though he was, tall, tousled brown hair, a quiet intensity in his hazel eyes, but because he looked familiar. She knew that face. Or at least, her heart did. He ordered a coffee, black, and as he turned to find a seat, their eyes met. A flicker of recognition passed between them, like a whisper from a memory neither of them could fully place. He paused. "Do I know you?" he asked, a hesitant smile playing on his lips. Emma blinked. "I don't think so," she said softly, but her voice he tilted his head, studying her as if trying to remember a dream just before it fades. "I'm Noah," he said finally. Extending a hand, Emma hesitated, then took it. "Emma." Their hands lingered a moment too long. Something unspoken sparked between them, fragile but undeniable. "Mind if I join you?" he asked. She nodded, heart pounding, as Noah sat down. The rain continued its quiet symphony outside. Inside, two strangers, or perhaps something more, began to talk about books, about favorite cities, about the way music feels when you're falling in love or breaking apart. What neither of them said, not yet, was that this moment already felt like the beginning of something they'd both stopped leaving in a second chance, or maybe a forgotten one, finally remembered. The rain had stopped, but neither Emma nor Noah noticed. Hours had passed in that little corner of the world, where time seemed to fold in on itself. Conversations came easily, too easily for strangers. They laughed about awkward first jobs, whispered secrets about dreams they'd buried, and found comfort in how the other listened, not just with ears but with something deeper, like they were listening with their hearts. Noah leaned back, eyes soft. "You know, it's strange," he said. "I wasn't supposed to come here today. I took a wrong turn on my way to the train station." Emma smiled. "I wasn't supposed to be here either. I almost stayed in bed." A pause. "Maybe the wrong turn wasn't so wrong after all," he added. That sentence stayed with her. As they stepped out of the cafe, the city looked different, lighter, like it had exhaled with them. Noah walked beside her, not asking where she was going, just walking, like he'd always been there. Their fingers brushed once, then again, until Emma finally took his hand without saying a word. They ended up by the river. The sky was still heavy with grey, but the water shimmered with the light that broke through in patches. Emma stopped. "Do you believe in soul recognition?" she asked suddenly. Noah looked at her. "I believe some people are meant to find each other, even if it takes time, even if they've forgotten." She turned to face him, heart thudding. "I think I knew you before I met you." "I know," he whispered. And in that moment, as his lips met hers in a kiss that felt more like a memory than something new, everything she thought she'd lost returned. The music inside her, the warmth, the belief. She had spent so long surviving silence. Now, with Noah, she remembered the sound of love. For 2 weeks, Emma and Noah lived in their own little world. Long walks, slow coffees, midnight calls that ended in sleepy smiles. She started playing piano again, just a few notes at first. Then full melodies, music returned like breath, but love, as beautiful as it is, always comes with its shadows. One evening, just as golden light spilled through Emma's apartment windows, Noah stood by the doorway, silent. "There's something I need to tell you," he said, eyes lowered, her heart stilled. He took a deep breath. "I wasn't just passing through Edinburgh. I came here to find someone." Emma frowned. "Who? My ex-fiancé." The words hit her like a cold wind. She stepped back. "It's not what you think," he rushed to say. "We ended it nearly a year ago, but I never got closure. I didn't come to win her back. I came to let her go." For good, Emma's voice trembled. "So this it was a distraction." "No," he said firmly. "It was the only real thing I've felt in years." She turned away, heart aching. "But how can I trust that?" Noah stepped closer, gently turning her face to meet his. "Because the moment I met you, everything else faded. I didn't forget her because I was trying. I forgot her because I found you." A tear slid down her cheek, and she let it fall. She didn't speak, not yet. He didn't try to kiss her, didn't try to hold her. He just said quietly, "I'll be at the train station tomorrow at 10. If you believe in what we have, meet me there. If not, I'll leave. But I'll never forget you." And then he was gone. Emma stood alone in her apartment, the silence pressing in again, but this time it wasn't empty. It was full of everything they'd shared. She sat at the piano, and this time she played with feeling. A melody that rose and fell like her heart. Soft honest torn. As the final note faded, she whispered to herself, "Do I want to forget him, or risk everything to remember?" Some endings are just disguised beginnings. The next morning, the city was painted in shades of silver and blue. Clouds hung low over the train station, and footsteps echoed through the empty platforms. Noah stood alone near platform 3, suitcase at his side, scarf pulled high around his neck. He checked the clock, 9:58. People came and went. Faces blurred. But not hers, not yet. He looked down, then up again, hope flickering, doubt creeping in like fog. 9:59. He sighed and turned toward the train, heart sinking. But then, a voice, "Noah." He froze. Slowly, he turned. There she was, Emma, hair slightly damp from the mist, cheeks flushed. Eyes wide with emotion, she was holding something, a folded sheet of music. Her fingers were trembling. "I wrote this," she said softly, "last night." He took the page carefully, reading the title, Whispers of a Forgotten Heart. Noah looked up, eyes full. "I don't know what tomorrow looks like," she said, "but I know I don't want it without you." He dropped his suitcase and stepped toward her. "Then we'll write it together." Their kiss wasn't rushed. It was slow, sure, like two people choosing each other, not by chance, but by courage. And as the train pulled away without him, the city began to breathe again. That night, Emma played her new piece at a small concert hall, with Noah in the front row, eyes locked on hers. The audience heard music, but Noah, he heard her heart, finally whole again. And maybe, just maybe, so was his, the end.